Hello and welcome to the Fairy Elephant Effect podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Walter, and today's topic is something very close to the heart on how we live and how we influence the world around us. What ripple are you creating in the pond today? This is not just a poetic question, it's foundational to how we move through life. And today I want to talk about how our habitual thinking patterns, those automatic patterns that we have, thoughts on autopilot, shape not only our reality and our identity, but the actual energy and impact we project into the world. This episode is all about the power of integration, challenging the old patterns and consciously choosing new ones. Let's start with this. We all have habits, but over time, those habits start to have us. I know we've all heard about habits before, and let's be honest, most of the world focuses on bad habits. People are obsessed with what's wrong, with fixing themselves, with identifying flaws, and maybe that's because for generations we've been told we're broken, flawed, sinful, less than, useless, worthless. We're only any good when we suffer. Maybe that's why we fixate on destruction as well, rather than creation. And maybe that's why so many of us are still creating ripples in the pond that don't reflect who we really are or who we really could be. Let's talk more about habitual thinking. Now, those are the thoughts that we have most of the time, the ones we don't even notice. They're the background noise, but they run the show. And when something happens, the first thing that we go to is those background noises, those thoughts. Oh, this is going to turn into a really big disaster. Oh, I can't handle this. Whatever it is, it's then that they start to make louder noise. Some people haven't changed their habitual thoughts in 20 years. Their minds play the same little story on loop. The same bitterness, the same complaint, the same fear. The same pond is cloudy and the ripples are distorted. You may know people like that. I went to school with people that don't seem to have changed at all. They still think the same. It's still a negative loop. And their life hasn't got much in it unless they can create a new kind of drama because they're hooked into an emotional story, an emotional boost of something to make them feel alive. But that's not really living. And here's the truth. We can choose different thoughts. We can train our thinking. It may not feel that way when you're emotionally depleted, but when you're in survival mode, or when it feels like your whole world is on fire, but one or two intentional thoughts can change everything. It's interrupting the background noise. It's interrupting the program. And here's a couple of examples that I'm going to talk about. Because if you've been thinking life is hard, nothing ever works out for me, and people always leave, those are habitual. They're well-rehearsed thoughts. They are beliefs now, and the beliefs shape our emotions. Emotions shape our actions. And actions shape our results. It works like that, you know. Let me offer you some replacement thoughts. Why don't you try these for a few days? Actually, for 3 weeks, for 21 days. I'm going to put these in the summary so you'll be able to come back to them. Here's one. Things have a habit of working out for me. That's a good thought. It just got easier today. Everything I do is flowing the right way. I'm allowed to feel good about my life. And if you picked one of these and started to repeat it, and you let it sink into your body, let it guide you to your next decision. Because those old thoughts you've had, those negative, critical ones, you have likely said them 1,000,000 times. No wonder they feel so familiar. No wonder they feel like they are your truth. But they are not necessarily true. Actually, you will find out that they were just a belief that you thought were a truth. Now, there will be resistance. The new thought won't feel comfortable at first. Your old programming, the negative beliefs, will push back, and that's okay. In fact, that's a good sign. It means you're disrupting your own story. It means you're waking up. When the internal resistance shows up, you're challenging something that was really never serving you. And that's the beginning of your breakthrough. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to change your thoughts. Woohoo! Because I want this for you. I want you to start interrupting the old patterns. You deserve better. I've done this myself. I used to live in emotional drought. I had no excess energy, no joy, no peace. But by shifting my habitual thoughts and making a decision to stop rehearsing the old pain, I created new ripples. That version of me, she doesn't exist anymore. Changing my thoughts changed my emotional state. That changed the way I showed up in relationship. That changed the way I love myself. My entire life began to align. And the thing is, it is like taking one step in the right direction, and then the next step appears, and then the next step appears. And it isn't that long when you look around and you're a long way from where you used to be. I want that for you. I just, you deserve that. Last week on the podcast, I had Candice Dorsey, who joined me, and she spoke about how that fairy elephant effect showed up in her life, how words and energies from others left a mark that lingered. That subtle but powerful way that negativity can wrap itself around us and distort our sense of self. Her story was such a powerful example of what happens when we don't check the ripples we've inherited, and what happens when we do. When we change direction and when we choose ourselves. And Candice definitely has chosen herself. And she's backed herself, and she's a pretty incredible woman. So if you can, check out last week's podcast. I talk about this transformation in my book, The Fairy Elephant Effect, because in there I identified things that people had said to me that I took on board, and they became a part of my background programming, my beliefs, the truth that I thought was who I was. And I found out it wasn't true. It was just a belief that I took on because other people had that opinion about me. So if you would like to read my book and understand where I come from, and plus it's an invitation to you to begin rewriting your story. So let me ask you again, what ripple are you creating in the pond today? Are you creating something magical, something memorable, or something heavy? Because it all starts and ends with you. You are the most important person in the room. And from you, you can change the ripple for yourself and everybody around you. Thank you for joining me again this week. I love hearing from you. If you have any little nuggets from today, if anything has landed for you, please email me or send me a PM. Love to hear from you. Bye for now.